Good evening. This is All India Radio and I am Gaura Dhawanlal with the news at 9. The headlines. Both houses of Parliament adjourned for the day following ruckus over Delhi violence. A Delhi court again defers hanging of 4 convicts in Nirbhaya case. Government prepared to tackle any situation arising out of COVID-19, says Health Minister Dr. Harshvardhan. New Delhi assures Dhaka that updation of NRC in Assam will have no implications for Bangladesh. And Israel votes for third time in a year for parliamentary elections to break deadlock on government formation. Both houses of Parliament were adjourned for the day following ruckus over the Delhi violence. The Lok Sabha was adjourned for the day after Speaker Om Birla requested members to maintain the dignity and decorum of the House. When the House reassembled at 4:30 p.m. after repeated adjournments, the Speaker expressed anguish over the happenings in the House during the day. The Speaker said members should maintain the dignity of the House. He also requested senior members to ensure that the House is in order and also follow parliamentary traditions. Earlier in the day, opposition members created a ruckus in the House over the issue. When the House reassembled at 2 in the afternoon, opposition members, including the Congress, TMC, DMK, SP, BSP and the left parties, raised the issue demanding the resignation of the Home Minister. Opposition members rushed into the well of the House, holding placards and banners. Amidst uproarious scenes, the Speaker decided to run the House as per schedule. He also tried to pacify the members. He said that it is the responsibility of all members to work towards maintaining peace and harmony across the country. Despite repeated appeals by the Speaker, opposition members kept creating disruptions. The Speaker then adjourned the House. The Rajya Sabha was adjourned for the day over the Delhi violence issue. When the House met at 2 p.m. after the adjournment, members from the Congress, Samajwadi Party, Trinamool Congress, DMK, BSP, Aam Aadmi Party, the left parties and others trooped into the well, raising slogans against the government. Deputy Chairman Harivansh Narayan said a discussion on the violence should take place only after the restoration of normalcy, but the agitating members continued with their protests. The Deputy Chairman repeatedly urged for order in the House, but in vain. However, amidst noisy scenes, the House took up the Central Sanskrit University Bill 2019 for consideration and passage. As noisy scenes continued, the House was adjourned for the day. Rajya Sabha Chairman M. Venkaiah Naidu appealed to leaders of all parties and members today to ensure better attendance in parliamentary committee meetings. He made the observation on the opening day today of the second part of the budget session. He hoped that this part of the session will be as productive as the previous one.
The first part of the budget session has largely been purposeful with 96% productivity besides quality discussions on the motion of thanks to the President and to the General Budget 2020 and 21. I hope that this part of the session would prove to be even more meaningful.
The Vice President told members that this session offers several opportunities to raise important issues of larger public concern and discuss some major legislative proposals of the government. Delhi Lieutenant Governor Anil Baijal today met Prime Minister Narendra Modi in Parliament House. The meeting lasted for almost an hour. Both are reported to have discussed about the violent incidents in parts of northeast Delhi. The situation in the national capital remains peaceful and no untoward incident was reported for the 6th consecutive day after the northeast Delhi violence of last week. Delhi Police Commissioner S.N. Srivastava, while speaking to media persons today, urged residents not to pay heed to any kind of rumours in this matter. He emphasised that citizens of Delhi must verify unconfirmed reports of any sort of disturbance from the Central Police Control Room. Mr. Srivastava informed that 6 cases have been registered and 1 person has been arrested from the Nihal Vihar area, West Delhi, in connection with yesterday's rumour-mongering instance. He said further investigation in the matter is being carried out. More than 300 FIRs have been registered in the Delhi violence case. A Delhi court today deferred till further orders the hanging of the 4 death row convicts in the Nirbhaya gang rape and murder case. The hanging of the 4 convicts was scheduled for tomorrow, 6 a.m. The execution of their death warrants has now been deferred for the 3rd time due to delays in exhausting legal remedies. Additional Sessions Judge Dharmender Rana said the death sentence cannot be executed pending the disposal of the mercy petition of convict Pawan Kumar Gupta. While reserving the order on Pawan's fresh plea to stay the death warrant for tomorrow morning, the court rapped the convict's lawyer for acting so late in filing the curative and mercy pleas. Pawan's curative plea was rejected by the Supreme Court earlier in the day. The Union Home Ministry has received the mercy petition of Pawan Kumar Gupta, one of the 4 convicts facing the gallows in the Nirbhaya gang rape and murder case. The ministry will forward the petition to President Ramnath Kovind for his consideration and decision. The President has already rejected the mercy petitions of the other 3 convicts, Mukesh, Vinay and Akshay. This is All India Radio giving you the news. For quick news updates, visit our News on AIR app and follow us on Twitter @AIR News Alerts. You can also visit our website www.newsonair.com. 2 new positive cases of novel coronavirus COVID-19 have been reported in the country. One positive case has been detected in New Delhi and the other has been detected in Telangana. The person from Delhi has travel history from Italy. The other one from Telangana has travel history from Dubai. Further details of their travel are being ascertained. Both patients are stable and being closely monitored. Union Health Minister Dr. Harshvardhan asserted that the government is prepared to tackle any situation arising out of COVID-19 and that the issue is being constantly monitored by the concerned group of ministers. While speaking to media persons in New Delhi today, he advised people to avoid travel to countries like Iran, Japan, South Korea and Singapore. Dr. Vardhan also advised people not to create panic and to report any recent relatable symptoms like fever, sore throat or respiratory problems at the nearest designated medical facility. He further said,
4 स्थान जहां से चाइना के बाहर ज्यादा केसेस आ रहे हैं वो है साउथ कोरिया, इटली, ईरान और जापान। अभी हम 12 देशों से आने वाले पैसेंजर्स जो हैं उनकी यूनिवर्सल स्क्रीनिंग कर रहे हैं। 21 एयरपोर्ट्स पर स्क्रीनिंग हो रही है, 12 मेजर सी पोर्ट्स पर स्क्रीनिंग हो रही है और 65 माइनर सी पोर्ट्स पर स्क्रीनिंग हो रही है।
Dr. Vardhan said the Ministry of External Affairs is constantly in touch with the Indian Embassy in Iran for necessary protocols to be followed with regard to Indian citizens. Aviation Regulator Director General of Civil Aviation today said that all passengers coming from Italy and Iran would undergo thermal screening for COVID-19. Passengers from 10 countries, China, Hong Kong, Japan, South Korea, Thailand, Singapore, Nepal, Indonesia, Vietnam and Malaysia are already being screened at Indian airports. The DGCA said in order to prevent the spread of COVID-19 in India, it has been decided to expand the universal screening of all passengers arriving in flights from Italy and Iran. In the run-up to the International Women's Day 2020 celebrations, Ministries of Health and Family Welfare and Women and Child Development are jointly organizing a health, wellness and nutrition camp in New Delhi. Activities such as screening for anemia, blood sugar, hypertension and other health-related issues will be conducted for women employees working in various ministries during this week-long camp. In her address, Women and Child Development Minister Smriti Irani said this shows the government's commitment to ensuring the best of health facilities for people from every walk of life.
राष्ट्र के इतिहास में शायद पहली बार ऐसा हुआ है कि महिला की कैपेसिटी, महिला के योगदान और महिला द्वारा विकास के संदर्भ में भारत सरकार के सभी डिपार्टमेंट, सभी मंत्रालय एकजुट होकर प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र भाई मोदी के विजन कि अब अगर हिंदुस्तान की अर्थव्यवस्था के साथ साथ सामाजिक उत्थान की बात करनी है तो वो जब तक विमेन लेड डेवलपमेंट की ओर उस दृष्टिकोण से आगे बात नहीं करेंगे तो संभव नहीं हो पाएगा।
Assam, as we all know, is home to the world-famous one-horned rhino. In addition to the rhino, there are other species of animals found in abundance in the state. With this good number of wildlife, conservationists are earning laurels in wildlife conservation activities, including a lot of women. Let's hear more from our correspondent on women's contribution to wildlife conservation.
Carla Rhodes is a wildlife conservation photographer doing her bit in her area of expertise. She is of the opinion that women can play an important role in wildlife conservation by leading by example. Women can make a change locally and globally. She added that it is important to get involved in projects which a woman can be passionate about, not just locally but also far away.
I'm Carla Rhodes, wildlife conservation photographer, visiting Assam all the way from New York in the USA. Women can have a very strong role in wildlife conservation by leading by example. Find projects near you that you're passionate about, but also find projects very far away, like I'm doing, that you're passionate about, where you can donate your skills to move things forward. So I encourage all women watching to get involved locally and globally to make a change in all areas of conservation.
Purnima Devi Burman, who is also known as Hargila Baido, has made a landmark achievement by successfully hatching a pair of greater adjutant chicks, also known as Hargila, within an artificial platform in Assam Zoo. Let us hear more from her as she spoke to All India Radio in the run-up to International Women's Day.
I would like to convey Happy International Women's Day to all the women, and let us celebrate our womenhood with joy, with love, and by knowing our power. I request all the women to come forward wildlife conservation, nature education, and please remember that environmental education begins from our own home, and you can contribute to nature in any form of your life.
For All India Radio with Manas, this is Nazmin Sarkar from Guwahati.
The News Services Division of All India Radio, in its weekly bilingual live phone-in program Public Speak, will bring you a discussion tonight on women's health and nutrition as a part of the International Women's Day. Foreign Secretary Harshvardhan Shringla today said Bangladesh retains the highest position in India's Neighbourhood First policy. He was speaking at a seminar in Dhaka today. He said India seeks the closest possible ties with Bangladesh. Talking about the NRC in Assam, he assured that it is an issue entirely internal to India. He said it will have no implications for Bangladesh. The Foreign Secretary said that Bangladesh is the largest development partner of India in the world. It has close to a $10 billion line of credit for infrastructure and other projects in the country. In Israel, the people today voted in an unprecedented third parliamentary election in less than a year. The elections aim to break the deadlock on government formation, with the country's longest-serving Prime Minister, Benjamin Netanyahu, fighting for his political survival amid indictments on graft charges. Israel's Central Elections Committee, CEC, said that 27.6% of registered voters had cast their ballots by noon. These are the highest figures for this hour since the elections in 1999. Neither Netanyahu, who heads the right-wing Likud party, nor his main challenger, Benny Gantz, the leader of the Blue and White Alliance, were able to put together majority coalitions following the last two elections. The Taliban today said that they were resuming offensive operations against Afghan security forces. This ends the partial truce that preceded the signing of a deal between the insurgents and Washington. The Taliban said that as per the US-Taliban agreement, they will not attack foreign forces, but operations will continue against the Kabul administration. As the Taliban announced an end to a partial truce in the country, a bombing at a football match killed 3 people and injured 11 others today in eastern Afghanistan. The police chief of Eastern Coast Province, Syed Ahmad Babazai, said that a motorcycle rigged with a bomb exploded during a football match. And now, before we close, the headlines once again. Both houses of Parliament adjourned for the day following ruckus over Delhi violence. A Delhi court again defers hanging of 4 convicts in Nirbhaya case. Government prepared to tackle any situation arising out of COVID-19, says Health Minister Dr. Harshvardhan. New Delhi assures Dhaka that updation of NRC in Assam will have no implications for Bangladesh. And Israel votes for third time in a year for parliamentary elections to break deadlock on government formation. And that is all in the news at 9. Good night.